Hey fellow patriots, Bravo Echo here. Welcome to Hope for Survival YouTube. I wanted to give a August update real quick and get it posted for you to hit on some key points I believe that could have direct or indirect impacts on you or your region and possibly the nation, which rolls downhill. And as taxpayers, we end up footing the bill. So thanks for being here. Thanks for tuning in. And let me get started here. First, if you have not subscribed to our channel, please reach up above and hit subscribe. And if you like this video, please hit like and ring the bell if you would like to be notified when I post videos on the YouTube channel. I do believe this will be video number 97. So there is a large assortment of topics, training, and different areas that you can go through to possibly find something to help you get better prepared. So again, let me get started. So this is the August 2023 update. So if you have not heard in the last day or so, canned food prices are to increase by as much as 30%. This came out numerous newspapers, and the president announced it. He plans to put new tariffs on food can metal that's coming from China, Germany, and Canada. And it was stated that this could be as much as 30%. You may remember back during the early periods of the C virus, when there was a shortage of materials to make lids, and so a lot of items were short on the shelf, and it took a while, and I honestly don't know if we ever recovered. But I was recently in a grocery store, and to buy a can of soup, chicken noodle soup, it was a store brand. It was not name brand, and I was shocked that it was $1 and I believe $1.88 a can. So you add another 30% on top of that, you're looking at about $2.25 to $2.50 a can for a can of soup. Soups is a common staple for many homes, especially folks on retirees on fixed incomes during the winter months when their utility bills are going up, and in order to try to make ends meet, they're getting crushed. They're getting crushed, and our men north of Richmond, um, yeah, they tell us they feel our pain while they make their millions of dollars and eat caviar and hang out at the country club. Evidently, they haven't been out to their local communities to pay attention. That's all lip service. So again, that's 30%, up to a 30% increase on canned goods. So if you can afford it, I would immediately go start stocking up if that's part of your diet and part of your food plan. There's a new strain of coronavirus that's hitting America. Across the nation, the numbers are going up again. And there's some regions that are already back in the mask again. And I can tell you that I'm hearing in my day life, I'm hearing through the grapevine that there's discussion again of more to come this fall. Back in mask in the workplace and out in the communities. And it has been speculated for some time now that come this fall, somehow, some way, that we would likely be back in a lockdown again. So prepare accordingly. Buy what you need to buy, to include any pharmaceuticals that you may need. Um, Keep in mind, 2 weeks ago, the FDA did come out and state that doctors can now write prescriptions for ivermectin. How about that? Um, so if you would like to buy some of your own, I'm not going to state it or post it here, but you can send me an email at preparedness101@protonmail.com, and I can tell you a couple locations where you can buy your own to have on standby. Okay, so again, appears there's a new strain that's out, and it's uh, speculation it's going to hit hardest this fall during flu season. There's some speculation that this will be a more severe strain, and it could potentially be harder on children than adults. There's certain variances of this new strain that works its way around your immune system, or any weaknesses that you may have in your immune system. Concern I have on it is uh, if in fact it hits and we start having mass casualties again. One, individuals who partook in the first 3 years of lockdown and the whole program, warp speed and so forth, is that they're potentially going to blow it off. And if it's more severe, then there's a potential that these individuals could contract and end up dead. Another concern I have is that if this strain does hit and it does attack children, and children, the numbers of deceased children starts to increase, is that there will be accusations made, a rumor started that it's the unvaccinated who are actually causing the deaths of these children. That would cause an absolute revolt in this country, again pitting one side against another. So plan accordingly and do what you decide is best for you. Supply chain issues. Regardless of what we're being told, supply chain issues continues. Here's some of the challenges that are being faced. This is in addition to yellow truck lines going out of business, and trailers are hauling half loads or less across the country right now. There's a material scarcity. I know on cement, I've read home building materials, increasing freight prices, difficult demand forecasting, needs available cash or loans from banks to buy building materials is causing this forecasting problem. Port congestion, changing consumer attitudes, digital transformation, restructuring financially, and a lot of corporations, if you haven't been reading, a lot of corporation, their top CEOs that managed them through the last 3-year lockdown period, and a lot of them got hefty buyouts, and they have since gone into hiding. And inflation. Weren't we just told that inflation's under control? So inflation's also impacting the supply chain. Pharmaceutical shortages. We've been hearing this pretty much all summer. Nearly all hospital pharmacists say drug shortages are negatively impacting care. A third say its impacts are critical. More than 90% of large U.S. cancer centers report shortages of life-saving chemo drugs in new survey. I have read several cases of individuals who have passed away that had promising diagnosis in the beginning, but they could not get the chemo that they needed for specific treatments, and the cancer ravaged their bodies and took their life. So again, this is what happens when lawmakers allow 80 to 90% of our medicinal needs to be purchased outside the United States on the cheap. So if they're buying them on the cheap from outside the United States, then why are you, the consumer, paying astronomical prices for life-saving drugs? Oftentimes, citizens cannot afford these life-saving drugs because they just don't have the money. It's a sad state of affairs, personally. Food shortages in 2023. This is a global thing. But here's a couple items that Yahoo Finance had. These foods will be in short supply in 2023. So stock up now. They have cornbread, vegetable oil, baby formula. And there were some others on the list. The big one right now globally is wheat. And due to the war in Ukraine and several years of floods, several years of severe temperatures and drought, even to the point of certain wheat crops are not being overly receptive to the water sources and what's in the water that they're getting to grow the crop. I read just this week that the winter wheat crop again is way below what's needed. So this is also an issue in some of the forecasting in the next 5 years of weather changes, weather patterns, and once these events occur, what regions of the world are going to be the new wheat and grain locations. Ukraine's one of them, and will remain one of them. I think Kazakhstan's one of them. North Africa, and so forth. So we all, me, you, everyone, we are going to have to change so many of our habits and planning when purchasing and buying what we want if you haven't stocked up on it already. It's going to be much harder to walk in a box store and walk out filling your grocery list. Hopefully you all are prepared and you have these key items planned for and put away in some fashion. Fires, you can see on this map, there's fires burning everywhere, especially north of the border across Canada. They've been burning for months. They say their plan is they just let them burn until the winter months, until they burn out. But you can see fires even down into the United States. We just had the large fire in Maui. There's fires in Alberta. There's fires in Washington State currently burning. And these are really interesting fires. I'm not going to go into it on this platform, but I would encourage you to pull up some pictures of the Maui fire and look at 10, 20 photographs and just look at them and see what you find that seems out of the ordinary. Things that burned and things that didn't burn. Just a little bit odd. So when you look at all the problems and the most recent one was in Maui, and then Southern California just got hit by Hurricane Hillary, along with the 5.1 earthquake just prior to Hillary landing. But it was announced from the White House that Joe Biden is sending each resident that lost their home $700. $700. Now compare that to the fact that Congress has approved $113 billion of aid just in 2022. So statistically, I think I heard Had they paid each victim in Maui $5 million apiece, it would only equal a third of what has been spent in Ukraine. Give that a thought and tell me how much of a priority you seem to be. And then when you compare that to the shocking cost of the illegal immigration crisis as well, the cost in 2022 was $4.59 billion. And that's estimated to be about $930 per household. So you may agree or disagree with what's going on at the border. That's not my point. My point is the fact that residents were burned out of their homes and they're getting handed $700, and yet every American taxpayer household is paying $930 for the 4.59 billion for folks that are coming across the border. Think about that. And for those of you who read Hope for Survival Book 1, in the beginning of the book, in the first 20 or so pages, I made the comment in there, you just don't matter. When you look at the system and how the system is devised, you better learn to be on your own and have your own self-reliant policy, because you simply do not matter. There was a warning that came out from several nations, the United States, Lithuania, Latvia, Poland, warning for all citizens to get out of Belarus immediately. And the reasoning behind this is the Russian mercenary group Wagner is said to be operating in Belarus. So these nations are closing entry into their countries to hopefully keep them out. I don't have anything on here to report on the Ukrainian war with Russia. The news is so skewed. You read news coming out of Russia and that side of the world. Russia is methodically crushing Ukraine, and you read news here in the West, and Ukraine is holding their own. Send them another $20 billion because they need XYZ while they deplete the U.S. War inventory for equipment and munitions. Munitions are one of the items. The materials to make munitions is reported to be on the list of items that are short. So how about that? So not only are they giving all of our money away, they're giving away all of our wartime national defense capabilities. And again, how's that make you feel? And if you've never been to Lithuania, Latvia, or Poland, if you're ever over in Eastern Europe, take time to visit the three, and Hungary, Romania, Croatia, Czech. They're all absolutely beautiful, beautiful countries, and they have beautiful people as well. I enjoyed my time in all of these countries. So this kind of sums it up a bit. One thing I didn't have a slide on that a lot of folks, to include myself, we kind of track the market, and I read a comment earlier today that someone made in the Hope for Survival Signal group in reference to watching the market, and that a lot of the alternative podcasters try, or they don't make predictions on the market. That is correct. And part of the problem is that it is so volatile and it's not predictable. I will tell you that if it's any indication, Warren Buffett sold off two different accounts, I believe, right in the ballpark of billion and a half dollars in the last weeks. And there was one other billionaire that also took the same steps. We all know that the dollar is basically less than 10 cents in value, probably maybe 5 cents. A part of the problem is it's basically backed by nothing, and just when it appears all the air is out, you don't know overnight if the federal plunge team is going to deposit hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars into the market, either directly or through third party, second party, third party. It's just interesting when foreign nations make multiple $billion deposits in, and it's like 3 times their annual GDP. I guess they think folks are not picking up on that, but anyway, there's a lot of different reasons uh, why it's not predictable. But the bottom line on it is that everyone needs to have a plan in place already, and anyone who honestly believes your bank is going to call them at 8 a.m. and tell them to have all their money out by noon because it's going to tank, I got a bridge to sell you, because they are not going to do that. You're going to have to make that decision on your own. What's safe for you? What's your best bet? If you have the ability and you have funds in there and you don't have, I would strongly encourage anyone to have it at a minimum 1 year of food, water, shelter, secondary plans, alternate locations. If for whatever reason they get pushed out of their primary bug-in location, you need to always have backup plans, which I mentioned in the last YouTube video. These are hard decisions. They're tough, age, finances, location, family, jobs. All these things play a factor in your planning. What would you do? But think about it. If something happened tonight, God forbid that it doesn't happen. But if something were to happen tonight and you get flooded out, or you have a fire or something of that nature, where are you going to go? And what is your plan? It's kind of along the same lines. That's why we call it preparing and not prepping. We're preparing for every single day because life can change. Just look at the folks in Maui. Okay. Not only do they have the high winds and the fire playing against them, it appears that there were key people in important positions that were playing against them as well. Excuse me. So with that said, I'm going to close this out and get it posted for you. Hey, keep the faith. Keep your head on a swivel. We've been talking about this stuff for weeks and months, some of us years. A lot of it is month by month. It's we're getting ready to go into 2024 in just a couple months, and we don't know what tomorrow or next week or next month might bring. We have got to have our best game forward every day, and that's why you've been doing this. So keep the faith, and come see us at our website at hopeforsurvival.com. Again, you can reach me at preparedness101 at protonmail.com. And again, if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. If you want, leave a comment. I will get back to you. And stay safe, be blessed, and keep on preparing. Bravo Echo out. Thank you for checking out the Hope for Survival YouTube channel. If you are new to Hope for Survival, you can check out our books at our webpage. Book 1, which is Hope for Survival, Getting You Prepared for Disasters, and Book 2, Hope for Survival, The Mindset, are both available for order on the website. We also offer the Hope for Survival football stick, which is a memory stick set up as a digital filing cabinet with files already loaded on there for you to digitally copy items such as deeds, auto transcript for ownership, wills, living wills, loans, banking information, items that if your home burned down or you had some form of a disaster, you could have all your important papers already digitally filed on this stick. All you do is simply drag the digital file into the appropriate preset folder so that you'll have it in the event of a disaster. You have to flee your home in a hurry, or also if you're away from home and you need critical information that's personal. If you have your memory stick with you, you can put it in your computer and pull that information up wherever you may be. Again, you can find these items to order at our website, https www.hopeforsurvival.com, or you can email me at preparedness101@protonmail.com, and I will try to help you out. Again, thanks for checking out the Hope for Survival YouTube channel. Hope to see you again.